The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Yo. Welcome back to the only hip-hop show with the only motherfucking hip-hop
squad.
It's the lyrical renegade LeBron Pierce. That's the only
Can't hear shit
right now. Can't hear shit.
No.
Hell no.
What are you talking about? But anyways, what it do, y'all? We back on the only hip-hop show. Got our special guest in the building, you know what I'm saying? Sean, Aisha, talk to me.
Okay. Let me make sure niggas see my shirt because it's a great day in football. Welcome back to the only hip hop show with the only hip hop squad. LP pressing the motherfucking button. Shout out to Morris Media. Shout out to Poetess for giving us a place to talk our nonsense and be crazy. Yes. It has been a wonderful day. I am Sean August, Sean of God, next to the viral, I don't even know what to call her, the love, but the only hip hop show. Aisha Nubian, what's up?
Hey, what it do, y'all?
What it do?
Sunday is beautiful today. Today was beautiful.
It's hot.
Today is hot. Today is blessed.
Facts.
That's awesome. I'm with that. So
you back to the finger waves. Can we talk about you for a second? Because the finger waves is back and you low-key viral. So I've been getting DMs like, is this your co-host? Is this... So before I even throw the gems out there, what the fuck is you up to in this social media shit, this media shit? What it do?
You know what? Honestly, I'm just trying to be the best Aisha Nubian that
Come
I
on
can
now.
be.
Stop with the political correct.
No, for real. Like, I'm steady working. I'm just always trying to have something new out, more content, like being more places, just trying to have my face seen, like, and just trying to do it all within tact and with decorum. You feel me?
Wait.
She is media trained. I don't like that. I don't like that shit.
Hold the fuck up. You got some explaining to do.
She do.
Right,
What?
You got a lot of explaining.
She fucking viral and gonna be modest up here.
What do you want me to say?
Talk about
I'm
that
not saying
petticoat,
you
nigga. What's up? If you don't know, Google this motherfucker, man. Check her out. Anybody that's on this pulpit, you better be family. You better follow.
Yes.
Y'all know what it is. So welcome back every Sunday, 6 to 7.
Yes,
of course, we got some great hip hop guests coming up for y'all. We got Wavy in the building.
Hey.
Shout out your homegirl over there because she been holding it down.
Shout
Patriot
out
gang.
to my girl Chris, and she a Patriot fan,
Gang,
so
gang.
I know you
Gang,
and her.
gang. But you don't like too much football talk, so we're gonna keep it low. Call in, state your football team, man. What it do, Nubian? Talk to me.
Patriots
No,
destroyed
we gotta-
the Marlin Dolphins.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Patriots
43-0.
destroyed the fucking Dolphins.
43-0.
Did the Rams win today?
The Rams definitely won.
Yeah, shout out to the Rams.
Shout out to the Saints for being trash. All right.
Okay, before we get into any unnecessary talk, you need to say the prayer. Are we?
I was gonna say it for Hassan, thank God.
Oh, okay.
Should we?
We can.
I'm gonna say one quick prayer. I'm gonna take Glasses prayer. And then we could, all right. Everybody bow your heads one quick time. One quick prayer for hip hop.
Yes.
Thank God for hip hop. Amen.
Amen.
Shout out to Glasses Malone for the world's fastest prayer that he shared with us last week, man. What it do?
Right. Okay. So what it do, y'all? Welcome back. Beautiful Sunday. I got some great topics for you. So let's start off with Meg Thee Stallion. So shout out to Meg. She signed with Roc Nation. I
keep hearing she a man. Is that true?
Why was it? Okay.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Stop jumping the gun. So, along with her signing to Roc Nation, there has been other talk about her being a man, like especially with the fact that people keep saying that a stallion is a castrated male horse or something of the sort like that. So, they're trying to, I don't know if it's being petty. I don't know. I don't think she looks like a man. You guys could call in, let us know what y'all think. I mean, what do you think?
Hey, men are not making your twerk skills is amazing.
No, you need to,
You know
okay,
what I'm saying?
see. That's
Her
why
twerk skills is really up to par. Men are not. I don't think, nah. And let me just be quick because I know somebody called out. They said some crazy shit about her. I think her mom passed away.
Yes,
right
that was
when
my
she
next.
popped.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say before, I don't even want to get too deep in your business, but I just want to say us, hip hop culture, people that look like us from where we from, can we just be a little bit more generous and a little bit more empathetic instead of just casting evil on somebody's success? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. What's up with it?
And that's exactly what my next point was gonna be. It was actually, I think, former NFL player Larry Johnson kind of came out with a conspiracy about the fact that after her mom passed away, then that's when she became really famous. And she replied and kind of like was very upset about it and said, leave the fact that her mom had a brain tumor away from this whole conspiracy about her being in the Illuminati. I don't know.
The Illuminati is a real thing, and we could talk about that off camera. Please DM me if you want to talk about that. But it is real, and it ain't what you think it is, but it's definitely real. Go ahead.
Okay, so onto lighter news. Drake, everybody's favorite, mine including, is gonna drop.
That was a hashtag homegirl. Go ahead.
Anyways, Drake is supposed to be releasing a 85-track LP. Are we here for it?
Nope.
Or is that just a bit too much?
The ladies is gonna be here for it.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. Drake, if you need me on the background, I rap, I sing, I do all that.
How many?
If it sound anything like that Chris Brown record,
I wasn't
I'm
feeling
here
it.
for
Were you feeling the Chris Brown record?
Yeah.
Hold on. How
musically,
many?
lyrically. LP, I can't hear you, bro. What'd you say?
I said how many?
85.
85?
85.
It's gonna be 75 trash. It's gonna be 75 trash. So many people trying to beat the algorithms.
And I think
we losing substance. We losing creativity. We losing so much. 85 tracks is not creative. That doesn't show work ethic. That doesn't show anything. Especially if you can easily walk into the studio and get the best producers, best writers, best engineers.
I don't know. I think we may be speaking too soon. Because what if all 85 of them tracks are fire? Okay, stop being a hater. Anyways,
for that benefit of the doubt shit. Go ahead.
On to the last topic. We got Kevin Gates in the news. So I guess he was kissing one of his friends on the hand, and people are really on that.
Man?
On his homeboys, calling his behavior very suspect. And his response was, "Thugs from Louisiana just express themselves differently." Do we have any comments on that? Would you kiss your friend?
Put it like this. Me and my homies are very close. We've grown up. There can be, if you're not one of my homies, but if you have homies, you understand if we can do some Jesse shit. You feel me? Like, if we just close like that, we got, like, the homie rubbed my jersey today. You saw that. But it's explanatory if you homies. It's boundaries if you homies.
You know what?
But on a bigger scale, because we always get on the gay shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not taking the gay shit personal. All right? Like, we just don't care about the gay shit. So if you gay, we don't care who you fucking. If you got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend, we just don't care, bro. We don't care about it promoting your music. So that's all I'm saying. Just leave your sex and your lights off. Close your doors, man. Keep your sex out of hip hop.
I'm sorry,
please.
but to be honest with you,
but I've been hearing Kevin Gates
listen to a rapper that tells people to eat a female's booty and they don't get tired. That's just not for me. You know
I mean, fuck it.
I'd rather eat coochie than booty.
It's so much better shit to worry about. Hip hop shouldn't worry about sex, race, nothing. We should be on strictly intellect, spiritually. Yeah. We should talk about groceries and shit. What the fuck is going on in hip hop? Drake, you better be helping somebody's mind in this motherfucker. What'd he do?
Well, you know what, you guys? That will conclude today's segment of What It Do with Aisha Nubian. We praying for all y'all. Megan, Drake, Kevin, we praying for all y'all.
We need a prayer list. If you need somebody, go ahead, LP.
How the fuck did you get on the Shade Room?
Why?
Because she viral, bro.
How the fuck
this is not about me. Okay, you know what, y'all?
I have been saying you bad since you've been here. Can I get that?
You have to.
Yes, let's go. And she like big niggas. So shout out to all my big niggas. You feel me? Summer is ending. So let's get this cracking. The only hip hop show. It's our season. We know what it is. Let's tighten them shirts. Let's get them hoodies out. You feel me? Direct TV, pay your bill, Netflix, and chill. Hey, only hip hop show. We here every Sunday, 6 to 7. We got Hassan, thank God, over here. You looking good. All right, his swag is on check. He got some great shit to talk about. We're going to talk about music, get into some ratchet shit. We'll be right the fuck back.
Hey.
Keep scrolling. Hey, welcome back to the Only Hip Hop Show with the Only Hip Hop Squad. Jesus Christ. We are over here looking at porn. First off, before we get any further,
oh my God.
I got no comments.
We gotta shout out to Cushy Carlito, who had his twerk contest to his single. And he introduced us to Sailor Ashley, who is one of the best follows on Instagram. So if you don't know who Sailor Ashley is, can you see her face? That's how you know it's a great follow. Anyway, welcome back to the Only Hip Hop Show. I'm Sean August.
No,
that shit. Let the homie see.
No, first of all, this is the devil's material right here.
The devil? This is how we got
I'm
here.
trying to save my people.
We wouldn't be here without the vagina.
Take that shit.
Hey, man, go ahead. Look at that. Look at that, Reverend.
No,
Son.
see, you're selling yourself short.
Sunday. I can't do it on Sunday.
Don't, no. And then you're trying to corrupt other people.
OnlyFans. Shout out to Sailor Ashley. Shout out to LP pressing and button. Shout out to Morris Media Poetess in the back doing her thing. The love of the Only Hip Hop Show. Aisha Nubian, what it do? Girl, don't act like you ain't never seen pussy. I seen your episode with the strippers. I seen your episode with the strippers. Huh, Chris?
First of all,
Look. Anyway, welcome back to the Only Hip Hop Show. As y'all know, to the pulpit every Sunday, we got to bring y'all quality artists, and this week is like no other. So we have songwriter, singer, producer, rapper Hassan in the motherfucking building. Give up those applause one time.
What's up, Hassan?
Round of applause. What's up, my brother?
Peace. How are you, man?
I'm grateful, sir.
Before we get started, Hassan, you got some really nice eyes.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I done lost it.
Oh my gosh, shut up. So how do we properly pronounce?
Really nice everything. So
facts.
Okay.
Retweet that shit.
Hassan, I'm about to get my number. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, look. So can you shut up, Sophie. Can you properly pronounce your name for us, and also let us know what it means, if it has a meaning?
Hassan Khaffaf.
Khaffaf.
And I don't know. My father told me that it means beautiful. So I don't know. I just roll with that.
Okay.
I was hoping you had your hair down this episode. But
it might come out. You know, it depends. It depends on the the
if
vibration.
we get this AC back on.
Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Florida, but the more interesting thing is that my father was born in Baghdad, Iraq.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my grandfather was in the parliament pre-Saddam Hussein. So he was like prime minister vibes of Iraq.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then Saddam Hussein basically came in and with the regime, and they drug my father and his 15 brothers and sisters out the house, decapitated my grandfather, and they became political refugees. So there's like Sunni and Shiite, and then there's like Kurdish people. The Kurdish people were like, they were like neutral. They didn't want they were just like peaceful. They were like the Amish of like the Middle East. So my father and his 15 brothers and sisters and the mother, they started living with the Kurdish people. So they lived in like Egypt for 2 years, Syria, Lebanon, all over, basically as political refugees. And then 7 years later, they made it to London, and then eventually he made it to America and met my mom. But yeah, so that's like a little bit of the.
I like that. You got a nice background.
The story of that.
Yeah.
Hence my next question, sand nigga, right?
Yeah.
All right, but we can't even go there first. All right, so let's rewind. Who the fuck is Hassan?
Hey, man. At this point, it's just like humble servant. Trying to. It's funny because people will always be like, Hassan, you're such a good producer. Why are you so caught up in being an artist? Why do you have to be like? Why does it have to be about you? So much about you. And I'm like, well, the thing is, by me realizing myself as an artist will just make me by me realizing myself as an artist, it would just make me a better producer.
Which do you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, which do you have the most fun doing?
Well, that's the thing. I look at it like a piano chord. So if one note is off, the whole thing sounds bad. So it has to. It's like and eventually it will be an orchestra. But right now, it needs to be, it's several notes. So like. A couple months ago, I was rehearsing, and Dej Loaf came by and saw my rehearsal, and she was like, "So this is the first time she's seeing me, right? She's seeing me perform, and she's like, yo, you got a really cool performance. Like, I would really like to hear your music."
It's a little bit more than cool, but go ahead.
Thank you. We're still working it out, but like, she was like, "Yo, I really like the performance. Can I hear your music?" So then I played my album. And then by the time John Monopoly, who is working with her, and someone that I've known for a while, Monop was like, yo, Hassan also makes beats. He's a producer. So I'm saying all that to say, by the time it came to me playing her beats, she respected me, I think, like in a different point of view. So like, it wasn't just me pressing beats on a laptop.
Right.
It was like, oh, I really like this beat. Yo, could you help me like write to this? Or like, could we vibe? You got an idea? Because my whole perspective was visualized to her. Like the whole point of view, my point of view. And that's what Dame always talks about so much, is like point of view. What's your point of view? And it's important because then that's what allows you to be able to produce better. Because now you trust that I have a perspective to really let me produce. Like Mike wouldn't have let Quincy like produce or even trust Quincy to produce if he didn't feel like Quincy was like
for the perspective.
Super ill.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like, so I think the more I get realized as an artist, it will just help me become a better producer.
I was shocked to see that you produced that shit. Doing my homework, just seeing that you produce. Not only that, but we'll get into that. Let's back up. All right, so you've established production. You've established lyrics. You talked about your show, and you talked about your connections. Dej Loaf talking into the studio, Dame Dash being around, having that input. I want to particularly start off on your show. We had the pleasure of seeing your show, which I think is stupid, which I think is crazy. I heard people when they brought you on, they was moving shit out the way, just talking about how creative you were. So that brought me into it, and you said that brought Dej Loaf into it. I heard Dame talk about having the important how important it is to have a great show. So what goes into your show? And second question, does your performance go into your songwriting? If that kind of makes sense.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
And yeah, I mean, for me, like even being in here in y'all studio, I'm fascinated by how things work.
Yeah.
So I'm really like a product person at my core. And it's funny because people be like, Hassan, you're so egotistical. It's always about you. And I'm like, no, I just care about product. It just so happens that right now the product is me. So, but I'm very much like, I like to, like, I'm looking back there. I'm looking at, stage design always because it's what I truly care about. And like at my core, I'm probably more of like a Shakespeare, or like I would probably be like a playwright or something like that. But that's not the highest level of communication in 2019. It's to be like
speak.
Yeah, rapper. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not even so. It's just about communication at the end of the day. So yeah, I mean, to say it simply, environment and creating immersive experiences for people is really what I care about. And really what jumped off me and Dame's relationship, I've known him for years, but we ran into each other out in Wyoming last summer for Kanye's whole Get Down. And it was just beautiful to like be in Wyoming, to see Dame and to see Ye like in this healing process with people like Dame who was there from the beginning, and like all these just like people that truly loved him, and just, it wasn't about anything except for just like love, like it really was. And it was also cool because like it made me think about like Through the Wire and just him sitting in that hospital bed, and basically that was everyone's introduction to like seeing Ye, was fat like, hey, Ye. Come over, first fat Ye. Yeah, come over to my sick bed. But Wyoming was a new sick bed.
Agreed.
It was like, come over and just see and see where I'm at, how I'm doing now, and it's just beautiful. But anyway,
the show.
Yeah, so Dame was like, yo, I got a gallery. When we get back to LA, you should come through. Woo, woo. So I went through, and I had just signed this publishing deal with Warner at that time, and I was like, I was trying to like talk to the people up there, like, yo, I'm gonna show y'all how to sell my beats. Like, I'm gonna give y'all the blueprint. Like,
your publishing deal was for what? Songwriting or production?
Both.
Okay.
I believe. Okay. I have to look at this. I don't know the stipulations of it. I think production, because I had worked.
You Bluefacing us right now?
Right. What is that?
Blueface didn't know what kind of deal he was in.
No,
I'm just playing with you.
And that's the thing. I definitely fired the lawyer 20 minutes before the meeting because I was like, they getting how much? No, I'm just kidding. But not fully. But
I'm with you.
But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, because I had did some stuff for Sweetie's album and like a couple of different things. So, but basically, I was like, all right, look, I don't want to email beats anymore. And they're like, you don't even got a lot of placements to like have the audacity to be like, I'm not emailing beats.
Saying what
I was
you
like,
to be a rebel.
I was like, that's even cooler. I was like, it'd be some underground Andy Warhol shit. Like every 3 months, you got to come to these installations where the new beats get played. Because how I looked at it was like a painter. If a painter has a new gallery of like a new batch of paintings, they hold a gallery,
right?
And you have the respect to come to the gallery and view their new paintings. So I was like, yo, we'll do the fall winter collection of beats, and then in 6 months we'll do the spring summer collection of beats. And as the beats played, so I did this at Dame's last October, and it was called God Forbid Night, which this is what this shirt is from.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Which I really, really hate doing that, like self-promotion thing.
Why?
It
Isn't
sucks.
that
Like I
it?
can't even believe I just did it.
You gotta have a homie.
yourself.
You gotta
No,
have a
you're right.
homie. Yeah.
You have to plug yourself.
No, I appreciate it. But so when we did it, I played the beats, and in real time, we had QR codes on the wall, and you could scan your phone on the QR code, and in real time, while the beat was playing, you could place your bid on the beat.
Oh, that's next level.
And whoever placed the highest bid got sent the stems of the beat directly to their phone, no email.
Who came up with all of this? And the whole God forbid, all of that. Who's the creator?
Well, I would hate to say me, but
that was coming.
No, I have a
Egotistical ass.
No. I have a really cool like collective. Like I treat everything. That's the one cool thing about being able to be around Kanye for certain things is seeing how he treats everything like Apple. Like it really is about like community, and it's really like even the way he makes his music, and this has been said in other other people who have collaborated.
stones at him for having that community to build music.
Yeah, community, and just like, and also having a like a committee of like quality control.
100%.
A lot of artists, we think everything we do is good,
right.
And that's not always the case. There should be a board that you trust, like a committee where it's like, if it gets through all of y'all, then it's like, it's like an iPhone. Like this is workable for the customer. And not to make everything, I get it, art is art, and it shouldn't become like this factory manufactured thing, but it's still like you gotta have some sort of, even the Bible, we always joke about how like, there's so many ghostwriter things about Drake and this and that. I'm like, the Bible is Jesus' album, and he didn't write any of it. The gospel according to Luke, the gospel according to Paul, but
and
it's
the
like,
missing gospels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And so
I'm sorry, Nubian, real quick, before we get off the show shit, I gotta touch the point, because I was a part of what you said was an experiment at the end. But you were in the middle of your live show after you had pulled the crowd in. I know you know what I'm talking about. You had pulled the crowd in, and I seen somebody get the fuck up and walk out because during your live show you had screamed nigga. Now I got it. It felt a little weird. It felt like I was being experimented with.
Wait, I need details.
I'm about to tell. I'm about to spell it.
I didn't know.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, she walked out. It's a lady that walked out. She got up. She stood up. She walked out, and I watched her. She walked. She looked like me. She got up. She walked out. I got what you were saying. It felt different, but the lyrics, and as you explained it, if you can give the lyric that I'm talking about, but your set was crazy. But I did see the crowd disconnect when you said that a little bit, some of them, and you clearly didn't give a fuck, and you kept on with your great show. So go ahead and spill those beans.
That, it's funny, man, because that I didn't know that.
Yeah, she got up and left.
That
was one out of a lot.
That left?
That was one person out of a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
No, she was one person that left out of a lot of people.
I need the breakdown on that one.
So he had a live show.
Yeah.
And he did his shit.
Well, I think she's saying the context of that word. So I'll just say that makes me really sad.
It shouldn't, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like as artists, it's like we do have this like, we always talk about in Bible study. I go to a Bible study, and we always talk about like the ego is not your amigo. It's like my mom's.
I might have to say that to somebody.
Yeah. But it's funny because like I also probably wouldn't get out of bed a lot of times if it wasn't for my ego.
Yeah.
Like my ego helps
100.
me. It does.
Yeah.
It does, though.
Yeah.
It helps
No,
me.
I'm just thinking it really does.
Yeah.
So it's a weird balance because, this whole thing has been, like I've had conversations with Talib Kweli about it. I've had conversations with GLC, who's a really good friend of Kanye's.
Of course.
And I've known GLC 10 years, and I love him to death. I love him like a brother. We got the same birthday. And, like, he was the first person to ever rap on a beat of mine. He was the first person to ever give me a feature. That's like, right. So I love GL. And it really was like a serious conversation where he was like, yo, I fuck with you, Hassan, but if you doing this, I'm not standing next to you. Like, this is, and I don't even know how he would feel about me saying that, but, and it was really difficult for me because I think I've always made music.
I could never tell that though. I can never tell, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, you gotta, I don't know, it's a weird balance of being fearless and having the courage. Cause I even told GL, I was like, do you realize y'all are the reason why I even have the courage in the first place to make any sort of strong stance on stuff? So the irony, like I used to date this girl, and it's so funny because I haven't looked at her Instagram in so long, and I did last night, and it really, really destroyed me. And she's like super happy with somebody, and I'm happy that she's happy. But anyway, I don't want to get off the subject.
I'm like, you need somebody to talk to. Fine.
Well, no, I thought I was good, and then I wasn't. But the funny thing is that when we were dating, she was, there was a lot. She was like potentially also with Hype Williams while we were dating, and and that's not the point of it though. Is that when I was going through that as a young man, because I was in love with this girl, and I was like, I was so torn because the irony is, I probably would. Now get this. This is crazy because the irony of that is I probably wouldn't even like the type of girl that she was. Like, I'm talking about just physically, like from an aesthetic, if it wasn't for me growing up on Hype Williams videos as a child. So I'm sitting there like, man, isn't this a predicament? I'm like, the least I could do is like, be cool with it. This was my justification of it. This was my therapy on it. And I was just like, man, it's so bizarre that, GLC's talking to me about like, yo, you going too far with this. And I respect GL because he's also the one that has had conversations with Ye about the Trump hat and the MAGA hat and all this stuff. So like, he was just telling me, he's like, man, you coming out the gate and you already want to put a target on your back? Like you're not even out yet. And you trying to already like bury yourself.
Lil Nas did it.
But
how?
He came out with a target on his back.
But that ain't. I think gay now is like pop. That's like cool.
It's still not cool in hip hop though.
It's not cool in hip hop.
That's a target. That's a hip hop target on your back, kinda.
But he came out after.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the best song maybe in the shooting history.
And the producer and writer finally got paid. So shout out to you and fuck the music industry for taking so long to get him his money. But what I'm saying is, having a target isn't necessarily bad. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to say, I just want to kind of express one of a great, like we talked on last week. Dave Chappelle said when he tells jokes, if he tells an offensive joke and one motherfucker walks out the room opposed to everybody, then that's great. If everybody gets the fuck up and walks, then he did a terrible joke. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was being experimented with, but I got what you were saying. So if I know you're never supposed to ask an artist to quote himself, but do you remember the lyric you were saying?
To be quite honest with you, I didn't even know I did that song that night.
Yeah, you did, bro. You did so that.
Lost.
You watched.
I'll do the poem real quick for you.
I need to see the damn show.
No, I'll do. Yeah, the show.
And you got headphones right here too.
The poem is, you ain't nothing but a photo bomber, cock blocker, trash talker, name dropper. Saying nigga, we the new black. I mean, fuck it, we all African. I'm straight from Iraq. Screaming Mesopotamia, first human nation. Mesopotamia, first civilization. Fuck all you racists, be civil in this nation. Fuck you till you free, babe, escape from the Mason. White and black night and day. Optimist Michael Bay. Most of my psycho ways came from my Bible days. Most of my swag, though, came from my Michael days. See me in that white ghost, something like Michael's face. I would have took Michael's place so he could keep moonwalking. Y'all keep moonshining. I just moon y'all. Your girl is spooning. I'm getting spoon fed. When I get blue balls, you know that my mood's red. And you ain't nothing but a photo bomber. Cock blocker, trash talker, name dropper. Saying nigga, we the new black. I mean, fuck it, we all African. I'm straight from Iraq.
But what was wrong with that?
Nothing.
I just learned.
They didn't listen.
Actually, say what you're saying.
No, because
people
I was
didn't fucking listen.
learning about Mesopotamia in my
This nigga
humanities
LP
class. So
really,
yeah.
Well,
LP.
That's really good to know because he wasn't paying attention.
Hell nah. He got the music playing in the background. My man said a poem. You had the music blasting in the background and shit.
I didn't even know that.
I know you wasn't paying attention,
Like a
motherfucker.
little freestyle.
But I was hella off beat. Everyone's like, yo, this dude's trash. I don't have headphones on, so.
I was looking at this nigga like, is he paying attention?
I don't have headphones on.
Good, yeah. It's all gonna work.
Hold on, wait. Shout out to the editing. Rap because
I'm over here playing. I was actually watching Clash of Champions right now.
This nigga, don't blast yourself, man. I blast you enough. God damn it, dog.
it's all good. But like, well, I could do the last 8 bars. Can you
Please
read the
do.
beat? Is the music?
Hell
still-
yeah, it's down. Go
Just real
ahead,
quick.
please.
The best things in life are not things. Life is so lucid, we control our own dreams. Sign your life away, put your name up on that paper. God comes first, but being fly is second nature.
Period.
Standing next to angels, playing trumpets, blowing devil horns. In perfect harmony, we forever sworn. So it's eHarmony or do the porn. Where my dogs at? Matter of fact, where them guards at? Saying nigga, we the new black. I mean, fuck it, we all African. I'm straight from Iraq. Screaming Mesopotamia, first human nation. Mesopotamia, first civilization. Fuck all you racists, be civil in this nation. Fuck you till you free, babe, escape from the Mason. So like, my thing is like, you know, thank you.
Wait, no, what you say? God is first, but we fly by second nature?
Yeah, God comes first, but being fly is second nature.
That's for sure.
Put that in your motherfucking caption.
Instagram caption,
Hey,
okay?
this nigga got caption raps, nigga. Raptions, nigga.
You better watch out, Drake. No.
Yes, that's how you know you really starting to come for.
When they come for the caption?
When the girls are starting to put your bars in the caption. This guy is like a machine at that. Every song,
Girls be
it's
killing it in the caption.
unbelievable. Nah, I gotta be honest. Aubrey is really. That dude is the best, man.
He knows what he's doing.
He's really the best.
Shout out to women, man, for giving this man all this power. God damn it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate. Yeah.
Hey, I feel like I want to ask this nigga for a break, but I don't even think he's listening. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank y'all for tuning into the Only Hip Hop Show. Y'all know we here 6 to 7 every Sunday. We got Hassan, thank God, in this motherfucker on the pulpit.
Yes.
Y'all done heard he done talked about a lot of God shit. We gonna get into a lot of ratchet shit now. We got What It Do on the side. We got Chris in the live. We got Wavy in the live. We got Poetus in the back pushing the buttons. We got LP in the back. We'll be right the fuck back, y'all.
Get out of here. With the Only Hip Hop Squad. That shit was really dope.
I'm gonna start twerking, nigga. Pause, nigga.
Sean, talk to me.
No Jesse, nigga. I used to dance for Lalo Clown, so if you need a crump in your video, hit me, my nigga. I never made the battle zone or nothing, but if you need a crump dancer, my nigga, you feel me? Hit me. If you don't know, you watching the motherfucking Only Hip Hop Show with the Only Hip Hop Squad. Of course, Sean August, LP pressing the buttons, Poet is doing her thing in the back. That's the love of the Only Hip Hop Show to the left. You know, she holding it down.
What it do, y'all?
We got the preacher, the Reverend Hassan. Thank God in the
Thank
pulpit
God.
holding it down. He didn't give us some great answers. He didn't give us some poetry. He didn't give us some real shit. He didn't talked about his love interest being stolen.
We gonna get back on that.
Real nigga.
We gonna get back on that.
You know what I'm saying? So before we go any further, man, did we miss anything in the first segment before we go more into your personal life, into your other shit? Did we miss anything musically? We might even get into
You
that.
guys did a great job.
I think that one thing that stuck out to me was Dame Dash and Kanye in your video. What are some key words, not keywords, but what are some key advice that they've given to you that you are able to take with you and that you want to share to the viewers? That's how I leave these niggas on stuck, y'all. No, I'm just kidding.
She didn't just say,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I am stuck.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
I mean, it's funny because I think I think Dame for sure has given me a lot of advice, and Ye has given advice too. But I think really just watching them like as examples. Yeah. It's like to be able to be around Dame, and be around Dame. Like I remember we went to I went with him when we did the BET like
experience
press run or whatever. I don't know, it's something they do in the. And he was like, "Yo, come with me and do the press run," and like and that was really cool. But like immediately after that, we went to this like super like Minister Farrakhan type show, and like he had me do say nigga in the middle of like the Nation of Islam vibes, and I was like, okay, this is a lot going on right now. But then immediately after that, we went and like picked up his daughter, and it was just like it was almost like being able to hang out with like the Godfather or something like that.
Facts.
And being able to see how he can change, like not change like who he is, but like just literally every situation he was able to
adapt.
Yeah. It was like amazing. It was like and then we went to like Adidas or something like that. And so it was like all these things in a row that I got to just see this man. You know what I mean? It wasn't about like Dame Dash. It was like this human man that like has a family and has a daughter and and has emotions and love and a lot of times whoever people in general, but like celebrities or whatever, they're not like given that same like it's like it's either just like superhero or like villain character, and nobody it's like that's not like realistic,
right?
It's like, so yeah, I mean I think and then being able to I've been to a bunch of Sunday services this year, and just watching how Ye orchestrates and how he directs things with love, and how he really just his just his approach on everything is so pure. It's just pure. And that's one thing that regardless if you like someone or not, like we always talk about positive and negative energy. I don't believe there is positive and negative energy. I think it's just energy.
It's just energy.
Well, what kind of energy did you have when you went on your ex-girlfriend or your past lovers Instagram? Ooh. What kind of energy was that? Because I was feeling some.
It was, well, that's the thing. Like a lot of times, like in karate, someone, like you can break someone's arm in karate by using their weight against them. You know what I mean? So it's like, so that's like the thing about shifting energy. Like you look at Trump was able to become president because he used all that negative energy or whatever. Even if it doesn't really matter. It depends how you transfer the energy. So you could take quote unquote negative energy, but it's still energy. It's like what Elvis used to say: all press is good press.
All press is good press.
I think Elvis made like $2.5 million off the "I Hate Elvis" t-shirts.
Wow.
Himself, yeah.
That's interesting because you think about like Michael too. You think about like how many people made money off the glove, and he probably never got any of that money. Like the glove and the socks, the shoes.
Can I say something about the glove? I just want to drop something about the glove because I didn't know this. Michael Jackson, his disease, the vitiligo disease, was starting on his fucking hand.
And that's where the glove
That's why he wore the glove. So his biggest insecurity became one of his biggest trademarks in the world. So you might want to be easy on what you're insecure about.
That's fire.
Yeah. Flashy glove. That was his biggest insecurity.
Have you guys ever seen a movie called Snake in the Grass?
No.
No, I will tonight.
Okay. Yeah. So this is big, and I don't want to blow. And I love Michael Jackson. I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. This movie came out in the early 70s, and yeah. Just
Snakes in the Grass.
No, Snake in the Grass.
Snake in the Grass.
Who's in it? Is it anybody we know?
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He's not in it, but you're gonna be like, what is happening right now? Everything down to the dude does the moonwalk. And this is before Michael ever did. So he's wearing the exact outfit, like he's doing all the moves. Like it's very, very bizarre.
Snake in the Grass.
And the whole movie is about, Well, I don't want to. Yeah,
don't drop.
I don't want to.
Just do it.
Because
regular artists.
I go off on segues, so you gotta pull it back in.
We control you. Come on.
They say regular artists copy, great artists steal.
Yeah,
do you agree?
True. Oh, I steal a lot. Like I
steal a little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't steal. I just borrow. I'll give you your credit.
Give you right back, huh?
Yeah, I'll throw your little name in the bar or something.
Yeah, a lot of times I don't even remember like where the reference came from. Mm-hmm. So, and when I make beats, I just, I don't know how to play any instruments. So
sampling.
I just sample all the time, and I'm, so I'm taking from all things. But I'm also, like, to go back to that, because I don't want to act like I'm scared of it, I felt good energy. I felt positive energy. I felt, here's the interesting thing about that is everybody wants unconditional love, but nobody's willing to give it.
Facts. Facts.
And that's what I had to feel. I was like, you know what? We're always like, I love you if I'm getting something in return. Like, and to be able to love someone unconditionally, like maybe like a mother loves a child or something like that.
That's the only real love. But go ahead.
Yeah. And you think about your whole lifetime, you might, it's maybe a handful of people, if that you can get to that absolute place.
Preach.
Yeah.
So, although so that's how I felt.
God is the only one I think that loves me like that.
100%.
Unconditionally, honestly.
My definition, I'm sorry, not to cut you off. My definition of love is the willingness to understand to the ultimate level. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about that, when you put love into, it's only my definition, you'll really see who's down to love you and who do you love. And that changes the conversation. So when for lack of a better example, when I go kill somebody, when I scream nigga at the top of my lungs with a message, are you going to be willing to understand me to the ultimate level, or are you just going to storm the fuck out the concert? You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference when we talk about unconditional love and fake love. Shout out to Drake again for the quotable.
Man, this guy got something for everything, this Drake guy.
And that's what I want to talk about. Sorry for the segue. We talked about movies. You brought up your movies. We got the culture vultures up here, and I'm avid for literature, bro. I love reading. So I want to pick your brain, man. I know you go to Bible class. I know you talk that good shit in your music. So where do your influences? What's your resources?
Well, unfortunately, I would love to give a very prolific, smart answer right now, but unfortunately, I've never read a book in my life.
For real?
And yeah, it's very disappointing because my mom is a teacher.
That's probably why you don't have to read.
Well, that's where the prolific answer was going to come, is I look at people like their books.
Agreed.
And I just have really good conversation with people who have read all the books.
Yeah.
So like, now that doesn't mean you still shouldn't, even like a pastor who's like reading out the Bible, you shouldn't just take his word for it. You should do your own reading.
100%.
And like that's something like the minister, like Minister Farrakhan would always talk about, like even with the Quran, or like, because my father's Muslim and my mother's like just Jesus. Like she's not even Christian. She's just like Jesus. Like
it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
She's like, I don't get down with none of the like denominations. I am a Jesus junkie.
Just give me Jesus. That's it. Yeah. Jesus gonna save me.
Go, mom.
Yeah. She's like, yo, I know Jesus on a personal level, and
call him right now. Call him. Call him. Shout out to moms.
But the beautiful, shout out to moms. But she's really someone you need on. She's way more entertaining than I am, to be honest with you. And she writes majority of the songs, so if you like them, she got the publishing. But
shout out to mom.
Yeah, she, the funny thing is though, like her and my father, they have a very bad relationship at this point. I mean, they're still legally together, but but the thing about like America and the world, America don't want you to know that Jesus is mentioned in the Quran more than he's mentioned in the Bible.
Facts. Facts.
Like the Quran actually, and I'm not Muslim. I'm not like, so I'm not on this like.
Speak.
Yeah, it don't make no difference to me either way. But it's just funny. Like all these like perceptions and like these different things. Like the Quran tells you to actually, before you get even like too into it, it tells you to put this book down and go read the Bible.
Go read it.
Like,
I didn't know that.
But no, yeah, because they don't want you.
Truth,
they want separation because it's easier to control when
easier
we're
to
divided.
control.
So.
You better talk that truth.
Yeah, so it's like even with guns, like, you know, people, all this like, you know, Second Amendment, take away the Second Amendment. It's not about that. It's about like, because I think a lot of that stuff is like sacrificial lambs so that they can try to take away the Second Amendment. Like I think they just trying to make people so scared with shit that it's like, see, we got to take away guns.
Take it away.
And it's like, I don't know if that's, you know, and I know that's not a popular opinion. I don't say a lot of things that are popular opinions.
It's usually the
but,
truth.
like, to me, I think if I'm a bad guy, guess where I'm going first? A gun-free zone. I think gun-free zones is like the dumbest thing in the world. Because if I'm a bad guy and I got a gun, I'm going to the gun-free zone because nobody got a gun.
Facts.
So like, it's just stupid to me.
It's programmed, man. It's so sad, but it's so refreshing to hear a like-minded gentleman willing to express such unpopular opinion, because we discuss that all the time, and that's what the hip-hop show is about, and that's what hip-hop was once made for, sharing unpopular opinions. It's not so much that anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which gives us a whole nother conversation. So we'd love to invite you back anytime, any place. You know, get into the album you drop and get into anything that you got. But right now, the floor is yours. If there's anything you want to say it, get it off your chest.
Contact information.
Please end with your contact.
Upcoming projects, all that.
I just want to say, honestly, like I was going through some of y'all clips in preparation. And I honestly just want to say that I was very, very, first of all, I love what you just said, and that made me think about this. I saw a clip where, like, it might have been a couple clips, but I remember one specific where you were, like, super...
Fine.
Well, no. Yeah, you're fine in all of them and in real life. But... no, you were very passionately protecting the content of what was even being talked about on the show, what was being played, and you were like, I forget what you was something about, it wasn't so much about conscious rap, but you were just like, you know, you had a very strong stance on like protecting the integrity of hip hop music.
That sound like me.
And yeah, and that really made me happy, because same with that statement you just made about, you know, being able to speak about unpopular opinions, which hip hop was, you know, originally full of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just want to say that I appreciate that, really, and I appreciate platforms like this, because I think it gives it context.
Yes.
Right? If you just hear saying nigga, you're just like, who the fuck is this crazy dude? But then when you get to hear me talk and you're like, oh, he's just crazy.
Right. Or no.
You're crazy.
Like,
you're fucking crazy.
Like, oh, okay, cool. Well, he's just like, you know, and then that way it's like, not that it justifies it. And things should be questioned until proven.
Facts.
You know, like there should be pushback. There should be accountability. People should hold me accountable. People should be like, yo, you're bugging. But let's have dialogue.
Right.
Let's not just have a, diatribe. Let's have a...
And hate each other and everything. Yeah.
Let's have a conversation, because I'm also open to being wrong. I don't have the information. Like, even though, like I said, my mother is a teacher. I dropped out of high school. So when GLC who's like a historian, is giving me the facts, or Talib Kweli, who's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, this dude's got information. I'd be dumb to not like really take that in and be like, you know what? Maybe I need to amend some things. And I'm open to amending things, because, especially now in the digital world, we're not stuck. Like the album title, like I just was speaking to Adam 22, who, everyone has their feelings on him, and I have my feelings about him also. But we were talking, and I was just like, we were talking about how the album title, because, the album title was going to be saying nigga. But I'm like, you know what? and for the longest, I wasn't changing it because I was trying to like stand in my stance. But I think also, and I know we got to finish. This is like the important thing. It's way more important than me saying like when the album's coming out or Instagram.
Okay.
So this is it. This is the last sentence.
All right.
But basically what I'm saying is let's stand for stuff, but also it may be your ego. So take a second and have discernment to be able to look at it and say, wait a minute, am I standing strong in something? That's good to stand strong, but I don't want to stand so much that I'm being prideful, because pride, and I was just talking to one of my friends who performed at the Pride Fest, and they were like, yo, come to the Pride Fest. And I was like, I have an issue with pride because pride is one of the 7 deadly sins in the Bible.
7 deadly sins.
Yeah. So when you start talking about pride and this and that, it's, again, a lot of it is ego. So we have to know the difference. And so with that being said, and after you saying you've been studying Mesopotamia, I think we have just decided the album will be called Mesopotamia.
Hey,
I dig that. We didn't got an exclusive video. We got the exclusive name drop. I think we good, man. Hassan, thank God. He ain't got to say it. We'll say it for him. Anybody that come on the pulpit, please follow. Please stick with What It Do Nubian, man. She's doing great things. If you don't know LP back there, he one of the world's greatest engineers, greatest lyricists, greatest rappers, man. Just follow the show. Please tap in 100%. We'll be right the fuck back next week, every Sunday, 6 to 7. Squat!
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Shout out to Hassan Khaffaf for joining in with us for the Only Hip Hop Show. Shout out to all the audience, you know what I'm saying? We'll be back next week, you know what I mean? And Hassan, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, on Instagram, at Hassan Thank God. And, yeah. I mean, I'm all over Dame Dash Studios. So if you want to get that, if you want to get Dame Dash Studios, I got a whole little section on there. So shout out to Dame, and yeah. And the new beat auction thing that I was talking about will be October 19th.
Okay.
We'll be there.
So yeah, and we got some other cool producers. We got Justice League participating this year. Charlie Heat. I'm talking to a couple people right now, so we'll see how it all unfolds.
We'll be in that bitch.
All right, y'all. That's a wrap for the show. We'll see you guys next week. Have a
Squat!
good one.